in Stage, one of the most important things that we've tried to do is mimic reality in a digital space. And we really tried to make sure that if you're looking at product, whatever it is, or anything that you're trying to visualize in here, that it looks as real as possible. And a lot of that comes down to the materials and the lighting, and especially the lighting and the way that the lighting works. And so we built a lighting system in here that's super easy to use but very accurate to real life. So to use lighting, I just come up here to the menu and I go to lighting, and I have these presets that come with Stage. So I could click on this high spot, it's really bright. I could go to this warm, cool kind of lighting setup. I can also go to this typical 3-point light setup, and I can choose butterfly, light on each side, and then also this apparel lighting preset that we have. So changing between lighting is really fast and easy, and it allows you to use the lights. You can see I'm getting these real nice shadows along here, accurate shadows. But the nice thing is, too, is I can create my own lights and light rigs. So if I come in here and I say lighting and I say create new, it turns off all the lights in the scene, except for the ones that are just in the environment. And I can name this. So I'll call it my lights, like this. And then what I can do is choose what kind of light type I want. For example, I have a spotlight, I have a softbox, and I have an overhead light. If I turn a spotlight on, so I add a spotlight, you'll see what that spotlight does. And I'm just going to hit L on the keyboard, and then I can grab that light and move it around. You can see what that's doing to the lighting in the object, and I can move that target and then move this around, and you can see what that's doing. So I'll just delete that one. I'll add in a softbox, and I'll say add, and then I'll just grab it, move it over. And you can see this one's different because this one's a really nice big area light. And so it gives me a much more soft shadow and soft lighting on this. And I can change things like how high up it is, what the width on the box is, what the height on the box is, what the temperature Kelvin it is. Like I can pick what kind of temperature I want and what the intensity is. But I could also make it some crazy like purple color or something like that if I wanted to. So there's a lot of options here. And you can just grab and drag it around. So you can create these light setups however you want. Now, one thing that you can do too is I could even do this where I put the light behind the object and grab the target and put it back on the background. Oops, there we go. Like this. And then move the height down like that. And then hide the light. And now I've got a purple background for my, or a purple light on that background for my image. So you can do all kinds of crazy things like that and just play around with your lighting. But the nice thing is it always stores it. So then an overhead light is just a big giant light panel that sits over the top of everything like this. So you can bring the height down so it's much closer. You can take the intensity and kick it way down like this. So you can get just a nice big overhead light like that. You can change the width and the depth, of course, so that you can make it a little more tighter and it changes the way the shadows work. But you can see kind of what that does as well. So you have these 3 different types of lights that you can use in the scene. But I'm just going to set up something really easy. So I'm going to set up this light and add a softbox in right here. And we'll put it in kind of right there. And change the target so that it's up like that. I'll add another one. So it comes in right here, kind of a fill light. Change the intensity down just a little bit so it's not so strong. Again, grab the target and then maybe put the height down like that. Okay, and then I'll put in a spotlight for the top for like a highlight. So I'm going to pull the target way up to the top, go height, go really high like this, and then turn up the intensity a bit, maybe bring the beam width down so it's not so big, and then I'm going to make it really soft like that. Okay, there we go. And I'll change the intensity of this one. I kicked it up just a little bit. Okay, maybe I'll take this one down just a little bit. So now I have a light setup that I can use whenever I want. So I can just recall that. So if I close this and I come in here and I go lighting, and go back to a 3-point light setup, or I go to this and I can go to my lights here. Now, if I want to edit those lights again, what I can do is just go down to lighting, go to the my lights or whatever I did, and I can either delete it right here, or I can just hit edit. And what that does is it brings it back up. And now I can just hit L on the keyboard and start clicking those lights again and editing them like this. So that's really easy. So now I'll hit L again and close this window. Now, one thing to know about lighting is that you can create these different light setups, your own light setups, But these can also be propagated throughout an organization. So let's say I set up a really nice lighting setup called My Lights that I want everybody in my organization to use. You can take that, and on our website, when you log into your account, you can promote those up to different levels of your organization. So that allows you to share lighting with people, or you can even click on the lighting and say, I want to share it with this particular person. Here's their stage email, and it will open up on their side and say, hey, somebody shared this with you. Do you want to accept it? And they can accept it. So there's ways of sharing light rigs with people that are really that you find really good. Like, I love this lighting, and I want everybody to be able to use it, so you can share it that way. So that's lighting in a nutshell.